Can I ask the question, Guruji?
Yeah, please identify yourself and from where you are, and then please ask.
My name is Indira Parma, and I'm from UK. My
Yes.
problem is when I sleep, I feel like somebody's struggling me, and I'm really choked, and I have to really scream out to wake up. And when I wake up, I'm really scared. Sometimes I feel like somebody's pulling me from my arm, somebody's pulling from my leg, and I really feel it. Even after I wake up, I really feel that. So what would I do about that?
Well, that is the uh, content of a question and answer session. If I
Okay.
start answering questions right now, then it
Yes.
will be a problem. So let us
Okay.
keep focused on the thing which I've taught you, and then
Okay.
we'll have again a session. Like yesterday, only we had a session, and people asked whatever they are suffering from, and I addressed them. But now, since you have asked, I address
Yeah.
you. For the rest,
Yeah.
I would just request that please do not ask personal questions today. We'll have one more session. That time you can ask personal questions.
Okay. No
Just
problem, Guruji.
remember,
Guruji,
wait, please. Since she had
Okay.
asked, I'm answering
Yes.
one question. I'm just requesting, please don't ask these questions again. But
Okay.
since she had asked, let me answer. So
Okay. No problem.
this is a very common problem. I have had many cases where people feel that they are being strangulated and they are being pulled or they are being beaten, and then they wake up even while they are sleeping. So
Yes.
what is to be done is, see,
Mm.
where is this located? This is not located on the hand. This is not located on the stomach. Where is this located? First of all, probably, as I have experienced by doing past life regression as a psychologist on many cases, I have seen that people have witnessed this actually in their previous lives. They have gone through that kind of a thing, because
Okay.
this is a recurrent thing. You would feel the same thing again and again and again. Now, what can we do in Reiki? Very simple. This thing
Okay.
which is happening to you is not located on the shoulder, it is not located on the neck, it is not located on the arm, it is located here
Yeah.
because you are dreaming about it. So
Okay.
the healing has to be provided on the third eye chakra,
Agna chakra. Yeah.
Agya
Okay.
chakra. So once you
Agya.
do it on the Agya chakra, a lot of the first reaction would be, what has been with my patients, is that in spite of the thing that you will still see it, you will be calm, you will be peaceful, you will only be a witness, you will distance yourself from the very thing which you are seeing, and after a while the frequency will reduce, and then it will drop totally altogether. These are the three phases in which this will go after you provide healing to the
Okay.
third eye chakra or the Agya chakra.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Questions related to the things which we have done in the class today, please.
Okay.
Guruji, I would like to ask this regression which you use the Honsha Z Shonen. Is hypnotherapy similar to that, or do you have? I heard people do the regression therapy, but they say they use hypnotherapy. So please explain or clarify that.
See, what happens is hypnotherapy is a tool for an altered state of consciousness. If I can alter your consciousness to an altered state or a semi-conscious state, then I can heal you. And that kind of a healing which happens when you are in an altered state of consciousness is called hypnotherapy, about which we can talk more in the question and answer session. However, if you are conscious, and while you are conscious, I want to treat some things which are not happening to you because of something which happened to you right now, but which are happening to you because of the things which have happened to you in the past, then I use the symbol, the Honsha Hishonen symbol, by transcending the time. So if I know hypnotherapy and I also know Reiki, what will I use will depend on what kind of a modality I want to deal with. If I have to deal with you consciously, I will use this symbol and I will do a Reiki healing. And if I have to deal with you in an altered state of consciousness by hypnotizing you, then I will do regression therapy for the same thing. There are two tools available in two different arts for the same ailment.
Okay. Is telepathy similar to Reiki really or no?
I would request that
ESP?
yeah, this is a very good question. But if you can just ask me this question in the question and answer live session, then because
All right. Okay. No problem.
I've given you,
Can you mute everybody? It's so much noise coming from other people.
okay. So now the explanation which I have given you, I needed to actually elaborate it, but because of paucity of time, because people have been listening for the past so many minutes, I tried to reduce my explanation. So I will do justice to your questions if you ask me in the question and answer session. These are very valid questions, and to a person who might be exposed to different skills, these questions are bound to come. And since I've been dealing with these skills as well, the ones which you talked about, it will be easy for me to answer these questions elaborately. But my only request is, okay, I did mute all of them. I don't know if somebody is unmuting and then we are hearing these coughs. All right. So let us, I think I've been able to at least answer one of your questions, and the second one I'll take in the question and answer session if you forgive me. Is it okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now, if you have any questions, regarding what we have done today, then let us take those.
Sir, could you please elaborate the last symbol more?
The dichomu symbol. The dichomu symbol is not for the diseases which belong to the gross body. So if you are suffering from a problem in the liver, we don't need a dichomu symbol. If you are suffering from a problem in the eye, in the ear, in the nose, in the mouth, in the teeth, in the shoulders, in the genital areas, in the feet, we don't need a dichomu symbol. If you are suffering from a problem which is there because of some problems which you faced in the childhood, you were abused in the childhood, and now some problems are surfacing because of the abuse which you had. For example, there are a lot of movies based on the concept of misogynism. That means a person was crossed by a lady figure when he was young. And then when he has grown up, he has turned out to be a women murderer. A lot of novels, a lot of theme movies have been based around this theme. So if that is so, we don't need a dichomu symbol. You just need to go to the childhood days, and you can do this through the time and space symbol which I have taught you. Then why do we need a dichomu symbol? Dichomu symbol is needed for things which are more profound, for things, okay. For example, let me bring in a little of astrology, very little. Will I be digressing if I just brought astrology for 30 seconds? Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Okay, there is a separate art in astrology, which if you search on the Google, it is called Esoteric Astrology. Esoteric astrology means, what basically deals with is the evolution of the soul. Why were you born on this earth? What will you do by living on this earth? What will you be and where will you go when you leave this earth? A very few people deal with this subject of esoteric astrology, and this has been my primary interest for the past 20 years. When we see a problem which has been carried through a number of lives, then what to do? Where do I provide a healing? This is a big problem which is faced by people. There have been accounts of of Buddha and Mahavira. If you have heard of Buddha ji and Mahavir ji, then there have been accounts when they did Jati Smaran. This hypnosis they called as Jati Smaran. Jati means basically what you were, and Smaran means to bring back to memory. To make you recall what you did in the previous lives, we need hypnosis, which they said as Jati Smaran. So if some disciple would come to you, they will say, for the past 3 times you have been coming to me, but you come to me and then you go back because of a family problem. So if you have to come to me this time, I'll make sure that you will not leave. So I will show you first which were those 3 times by doing a Jati Smaran or doing a regression. And once you have seen that, then you decide that you will not go back this time. No matter what happens, then I'm going to accept you as my disciple. These have been written in the accounts of Buddhaji and Mahaviraji. Now, if there is a problem which the person is suffering from for the past so many reincarnations, what is the tool which you will use tomorrow? If you rise to that kind of a spiritual level, you need to at least have a tool. So we are amazed that in the Reiki healing world, we have a tool. People have at least thought of a tool, and people have come up with the Daiko Mu symbol. The traditionalists, our ancestors, have thought of this kind of a problem existing in the world, and they have given us the Daiko Mu symbol. And since the syllabus of level 3 is said that I need to teach you this, and since I had promised that I'll teach you the 3rd level also, therefore I had to make sure that I reveal it to you. But once I reveal it to you, I have to talk about things for which actually this can be used. And when I have to talk about things for which this can be used, there are things which go beyond the scientific world. So I can't give you scientific explanations of this, but I can give you philosophical explanations of how and when this symbol can be used. And this was best I could do with this. If you have any other questions, please.
Guruji, you mentioned about the combo, the chakra and Seihiki and Honsasi Sone, to be used in all the chakra, and how many times we have to use those combo on each chakra.
Can you please identify yourself and the place?
It's I'm Hema from London. That is Jitesh iPad.
Yes, ma'am. We have had a word earlier as well.
Yes.
Now please repeat the question, ma'am.
Okay. The combo you mentioned about using the chakra, Chakori and Honsaji Sone and Seihiki. 3. So how many times you use on each chakra? So use that combo 3 times or 4 times that combo when we're healing to the person or healing to yourself?
It is a need-based thing. For example, if somebody is having fear issues, he is very fearful of his life, we give healing to the root chakra. Now, what do you do in the root chakra? What will you do? You will do first a chokure, then you will do a seiheki, and then again a chokure, and that is all.
Okay.
You want to do it twice, do it twice. You want to do it thrice, do it thrice. However, wait, please let me complete. If the person has been suffering from this fear for the past 10 years, and it is only now that he has come to you for healing as a Reiki healer, then this is a problem which initiated 10 years ago. Then a different set of combinations have to be used. Then the Honsha Zishonen symbol also has to be incorporated in your combo, in your sandwich.
Okay. Thank you.
From one case to the other case. You're most welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Namaste, Guruji. I am Kusum Mistry, but the name's coming as Gulab Mistry because it's under my husband's name. I have asked this question before about neurological problems. Am I right in saying that today's level 2 course would help in those kind of cases, like autism or epilepsy problems and things like that?
Yeah, so neurological problems are, we have to deal with the nervous system. Now, the nervous system is related with the brain meridian, the spine meridian, and the 3rd eye chakra. So you have to provide healing to the brain meridian, to the spine meridian, and to the 3rd eye chakra for any kind of neurological problems. So you have the pathway of the brain meridian, you have the pathway of the spinal cord meridian, And you have this third eye chakra. You have to provide chokure and then say Heiki here.
Right.
If the problem has started at a long distance time, then Honsaji Shonen. If the problem is congenital, then there is a fear that the person might be suffering from this kind of a problem for many lives. And if that is so, then Daikomyu symbol has to be used. If the problem is grave, if you're talking about mental retardation in the family, then there is a grave problem in the family. There is a great, what you call that, what do you call shrap in English? See, you see my English.
Curse.
Curse.
Curse. So, that way. This is a terrible thing to have in the family. Is it a good thing to have these kind of things in the family? It is a bad thing. You have to find out the cause. If you don't want to find out the cause, it is simple for me to say, okay, provide healing on the brain meridian. The brain meridian in the Chinese philosophy is called the pericardium meridian, and the spine meridian is called the triple wormer meridian, and the third eye chakra or the Agya chakra, and things will be done. However, if you find that the things are not getting done, then you have to dig a little deeper, and you dig a little deeper in time and space by the Honsaji Shonen symbol. And if still the result is not coming, then you have to move to the spiritual realm and you have to use the Daikomyu symbol.
If there is,
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Guruji, Manjula Popat.
Ji ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Well, Manjula Popat, I'm talking about what you mentioned about these psychological problems. If they are hereditary problems, schizophrenia, paranoia, then it's a bit difficult to treat. Am I right?
Yes, you're very right. Schizophrenia, the psychiatrist cannot treat schizophrenia. Once a schizophrenic, always a schizophrenic. That is the hard reality of life. We'll talk about this in the question and answer session. I'll take paranoia, I'll take schizophrenia, I will take bipolar. This is the thing which I've been doing for the past 20 years. As a psychologist, I've been dealing with these issues day in and day out. So we are going to talk about that as well. And I'll definitely answer to all your queries and concerns regarding specific diseases. Anything else? Let us take questions.
Hi, Guruji. Hi, Guruji. This is Noor from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. We talked about healing of the animals and plants. So I was just wondering if you can elaborate a little bit, like if you see a plant that is not that healthy and you want to make it healthy, how do you go about?
Very nice. This is something we didn't touch upon, and I'm glad that you brought it up. Now, when we talk about the energy system of a plant, we have to understand that where is the basic energy emanating from. Like in the Gita, it is written that humans are opposite to the plants. Not only the energy which we breathe out, they breathe in, and the energy which they breathe out, we breathe in. So there has to be a balance between the animal and the human and the plant world. But our roots are located differently. Gita says, here is our root, and the root of the tree is somewhere else. So if we are suffering from a basic neurological problem, if we give healing here, similarly, if a plant is suffering from lack of development, what is a neurological problem? It is lack of development. What is lack of development in a plant? Where will you provide healing? Where is the energy coming from and emanating? So you have to understand that in the plant world, the energy starts from the root. It moves to the major trunk, then it moves to the stems, then it moves to the leaves. So if a Reiki healing has to be provided, first we need to find out where should we provide the healing. The healing should be provided
to the root,
stem area, near to the root, generally, until and unless some kind of an illness has taken place at a particular part of a plant. Now, once you do that, you can use the symbols which I have taught you, the Chokure first, and then the Seiheki, and then again the Chokure. Or if you don't know anything, then you can just provide normal healing by these palm chakras, and that will do. This is how you heal. Yeah, this is how we heal the plants.
Guruji, one question. This is Balaji from UK. You talked about meridians, and let's say that there is an issue with particular meridian, and you would like to provide healing in that particular meridian or for that particular meridian. How do you go about it? Do you move your hands along the meridian, or how does that work? Thank you.
So when did you join the course?
Right from beginning, Guruji.
I have detailed explanation of what you are asking me. I'll repeat now, but I'll not be very elaborate. Now the thing is, you have a particular pathway of a meridian. So you have a road. So for example, this is the meridian. So if this is the meridian, this is the path. And I know that the energy is going from here to here, not from here to here. So the energy flow also, I have told you from where to where the energy is going. So either I have to do like this, I have to scan the whole thing. Wherever I find negativity, I have to make sure that I provide healing over there. The chokure has to be drawn over there. The seheki has to be drawn at that particular only that point. But in case you do not know where the problem is because your hands are not sensitive enough, although I have given you the exercises, but it is going to take time for you to develop sensitive hands. And if your hands are not sensitive, then at least you know this is the whole path and you can give healing to the whole path. Where is the problem? So either we give healing to the whole path, or you concentrate on particular points which you find on the pathway or along the pathway. You find that there is a lot of negativity over there, and you start with a chokure, and then you do a seheki, and then again a chokure.
Got it. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Sorry, just a clarification again, Guruji, that when you're healing an animal or a plant, do you still have to do the intention, or can you just go straight ahead and do it with your palms?
You know, the question is, are you a sadhu or sadhvi? Are you a monk or a nun? If you are not, then for a local person like us, if I am not doing prayer in the morning, then I am not centered. In order to make myself centered, I need these things. If you feel that you are centered, then you don't need it. Similarly, if you feel that you have the power of imagination, then you can just imagine. And the thing is going to happen. But if we don't have that level of imagination, then we need to draw with our hands. Similarly, if we don't have that level of calmness in our head, then we need to do the gasho, the chiriyo, so that we get that kind of a mindset, peaceful mindset. We disconnect from the other things which are happening around us. We empty our mind space, and then we start with a positive intention of healing the other guy. So that is the logic behind it.
Guruji. Thank you.
Namaste, Guruji. Okay, last question.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
This is Rupi from UK, and I would like to know if you can heal or cure allergies, severe allergies, for example, like not allergies, life-threatening allergies with Reiki.
I have answered this yesterday, and the video will be uploaded very soon. Half of the video has been edited, and yesterday there was a question on allergies. We answered that. But the one thing you added extra was life-threatening allergy. When you talk about anything which is life-threatening, I have specifically mentioned that we are always in a complementary role to the modern medicine. We will go to the doctor, we'll go by the advice of the doctor, but we will also provide Reiki side by side, and we will gauge what the results are.
Thank you.
So your question had two aspects. One aspect has been already covered, which you will get the answer to by tomorrow or day after. And the other thing, as far as life-threatening situation is concerned, you are not the right kind of a person right now to deal with a life-threatening situation. Even when, you know, I am faced with a life-threatening situation, I just say the hospital is nearby. Please go to the hospital.
Okay.
Because they have the necessary tools. We don't know everything. And then even if we think that we know, still there are many things which happen in the world. And this is a big, big world. And you need to care about yourself and your family as well. So you don't want to get into some kind of court cases and all, which might happen, because if somebody has to die and he has to die, unnecessarily the blame is going to go to you. Please don't deal with life-threatening situations. And this particular times, in the troubleful times, let them have the medical help, just provide Reiki from a distance. Let it be complementary rather than being the primary source of medication.
Okay, thank you very much.
Guruji, may I just ask you some questions on the symbols? It's Ajay here from London.
Ji, please. One by one.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully they're going to be very short answers, I think, because they're not too complicated. I hope not. But choku-rei, so it's to remove the negativity. I understood the cho, which was the negativity, and then the ke was that it's well inside. And then you need to do rei, which is now I understood this was to be sarva vyapak. It's like everywhere. Is that the pran urja? Then it starts spreading. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. But we are just removing the negative energy with the use of positive energy, which is present everywhere. So Rei is the positive energy, and Cho means eliminating. So this is how I said. I'll share the PDF with you.
Great.
With everyone. I'm everyone, right?
On the second symbol, the Seihike, it's written on the first one. The Choku-rei is actually spoken 3 times to draw it once. So I understand now you may have to repeat the healing 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, however you think best, depending on whatever, what your feelings are there. But the Seihike, when we draw it, it's spoken twice. So I remember you saying that you must speak minimum 3 times. So does that mean we must at least draw it twice so that it's done at least?
You draw only once and then you speak 3 times.
Okay.
Don't correlate by drawing a symbol and saying a symbol. It is okay that you have drawn once and you have spoken thrice. If you want to do the other way around, you have to draw 3 times and speak 3 times as well. That is also fine.
Okay.
I mean, this is not a problem. Either way you do it, it is not a problem.
I see. And if you're imagining the symbols, let's say you get to the stage that you get very proficient with understanding the design of the symbols, but when you imagine a symbol, do you still have to physically draw it in the way you have to say it? Or can you just imagine the picture in one go in imagining it?
Is this the last question?
There's 2 other smaller ones, I think, after this.
Okay. Because this has an elaborate explanation. See, the point is, there is a proverb in the English language, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Because language is linear. If I have to say, my name is Prabal Frank Nandwani. My name is Prabal Frank Nandwani. Again, let's see how many words are there. My name is Prabal Frank Nandwani. Okay.
Yes.
Now, have you heard about Mona Lisa?
Yes.
So if I have to explain to you how Mona Lisa looks, I have to write a book. And by the end of the book, after reading about 100 pages, you will realize how she actually looks, because I will start by explaining her cheeks, move to her eyes, then move to the nose, then move to the lips, then to the eyebrows, etc. And after reading the 100th page, you will realize in your mind's eye how Mona Lisa looks. However, if I show a photograph to you, it will take only 5 seconds for you to recognize all this. So language has its own limitation, but mind does not have that limitation. If you go by the mind, if you go by the pictures, it is far more greater learning. And that is why the ancients of the world use symbolic languages and not the languages which we use today. That is the problem of the languages which we use today. And probably someday when I talk to you about languages, we will talk in detail about this.
Brilliant.
So if you can visualize it in a picture format altogether, it is more forceful. It is better.
Okay, and in that visualization, I don't need to actually draw it out. I can just see the symbol as a whole, like you said.
Yeah, already drawn symbol, rather
Excellent.
than actually drawing in an animated form.
Excellent. That was my main question. Thank you for that. The other one is on the 3rd symbol, the Honsha Z Shonen. The specific question I had there was I didn't quite follow the thing about, I understood about regression therapy and past events, but you can also go forward in time, something about interviews and you want to get some kind of a result. That bit I didn't understand, and how you can use that practically.
Time is not only about the past, the time is also about the future. Why only talk about past life regression? Why not talk about future life progression? And this is what Mr. one of the famous authors from America does. Hold on for a sec, I'll show you.
Sure.
Dr. Brian Weiss, Through Time into Healing. Dr. Michael Newton, Destiny of Souls. Sydney Rosen, my voice will go with you.
Can you
Miracle
put them on the your next video? These books, please.
I'll just have a photograph. There's so many. I have a full basement.
Oh.
I have a basement where I have all the books only. So now, Mr. Dr. Brian Weiss. Okay, this is a lot of noise. Now I have muted the microphone. So now Mr. Brian Weiss, who says this is the best-selling book called Through Time into Healing. It is meant for people who do hypnotherapy. Now, he talks about past life regression, and then he also talks about future life progression. So people come to him, and people also come to me for that. Now here in India, what do? You say, if I become a doctor, is it better for me? Or if I become an engineer, it is better for me. I don't want an astrological answer. I don't want an objective market assessment of what is good in the market that I should do. No. I don't want that. You tell me how my life would be different in the times to come if I become a doctor and if I become an engineer. What do? It is called something as future life progression. What would be the other life like? If in this life I become a doctor, what would be the other life like if I do ABC things in this life? So, my dear sir, time is not only about the past, time is also about the future. We can heal the past, we can heal the future. The healing of future takes place in the lives of ordinary people, for events like examinations, for events like business meetings, for events like wars, for events like interviews. This is what I said in brief. Each of the questions you are asking is something which demand even an elaborate answer, but we are running short of time, so I guess
Guruji, which way is best for Reiki, by sitting in chair or sitting in yoga pose? Like sitting in like.
I never recommended any kind of posture. I say whatever posture you are comfortable in. This is not a yoga class where we'll tell you what are the benefits of sitting in the Padmasana. Although there are a lot of benefits, and we can discuss about it someday, because one posture is different from the other posture, and the other posture is different from the third posture. So every posture is different, and every posture has certain aspects to it, certain positives and certain negatives. All we said was we are concerned with healing. We are concerned with a mental state which is calm enough to connect with the universal force, and our mind should be free of any kind of stress so that we are able to divert our intention and concentration and imagination to our client. So for that, in case you feel happy when you sit, please sit and do Reiki. In case you feel comfortable while you stand, please stand and do Reiki. In whichever position you feel comfortable. Comfort is the main criteria. Posture isn't the main criteria behind effective healing. All right.
Thank you, Guruji.
So the last few minutes I have to dwell upon what is rest, what is to come in the course. So we have covered level 2 and level 3A. In level 3B, what I am going to teach you through a Word file or a PDF file, which I am going to give to you, share with you. Give me a sec. All right, yeah. So I am going to tell you in level 3B how you can provide attunement to others, to your students, either in person or through the medium of a distance attunement. So you need to actually note down all these steps. So it is better, I thought it would be wiser if I give it to you in writing, because once you will be doing attunement as a beginner, you will need those steps in a written format. And once you have those in a written format, then you can refer to those points and start giving attunements to your students. This is one. The other thing is that we'll have a question answer session where any of your personal problems, any of the diseases which you want to ask about, especially some of the people have raised questions regarding psychological diseases, paranoia, schizophrenia, etc. So those are the things which we'll be talking about. And also, some of the people had asked how this is related with astrology, acupressure, pranic healing, aura healing, or psychology. This is again, which we'll talk about. And once you become a Reiki healer, then once 2 or 3 months have elapsed, then there are other things as well, which go beyond level 3. And what are those things? Because many people in Tibet, many people in Nepal, many people in South Korea, North Korea, many people in Japan, they have used, many masters have used the science of Reiki. So they have given their own symbols. They do not form an essential part of the traditional Reiki system, but they're also there and they are also powerful. So there is a time that once you are comfortable with all these things, then you can move ahead, and wherever you find that there are people who are practicing near you, you can also go on with certain advanced symbols or with the books, or probably if a few of you are interested, I can also teach you those advanced symbols. So these are the things which are to come, and we will discuss about these things in the times to come.
Very quick question, Guruji. Very quick question. The symbols at the beginning, you draw them with finger or hand or imagine. Does it matter which direction you draw them?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the last one you showed, I'm a bit confused about it. And if you could show again next time, please.
No, I'll end the session with sharing a very important secret with you, because those people who have stuck with me till now deserve some secret, which I'll not post in the group now. Now, there are 80 people now, and when we were taking the session, there were 100 people. So that means somewhere or the other we lost 20 people because the session has extended, and it is 12:49 here. We started at 10. So now I'm going to share with you a secret. This is almost our last session together. We'll have a question and answer session, of course, after this. So the secret is that in the world, there are two kinds of circular movements. There is only circular movement in the whole world. Yeah. The Euclid geometry has failed. You say there is a straight line. There is nothing known as a straight line. The new mathematics, the new understanding of the mathematicians has led to a new mathematics, and the new mathematics is quite clear. There is nothing called a straight line, because if you keep extending the straight line, extending the straight line, extending the straight line, you will get again a sphere. So it is only a perceptual error that you call something as a straight line in reality. So when everything is circular, even I'm just forgetting the name of a famous painter, when he was told to paint stars, a painting of stars, he made the stars as spirals, and later did the scientists and the astronomers realize, only in the past 20-30 years, that stars are actually spirals. So stars are not
Van Gogh,
like,
wasn't it? Van Gogh?
Yeah. Who said that?
I said Megan here.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, that is right. So he made the stars like this, and yes, the stars are like this. And if sun is a star, and if the planets are revolving like this, then you can very well imagine about the other stars. Okay. So if everything is moving in a circular direction, then there are two movements which are possible: the clockwise movement and the anti-clockwise movement.
Yeah.
The clockwise movement, C, is a positive movement, and the anti-clockwise movement is a negative movement. So if you have to reduce something, you use a anti-clockwise movement. If you have to add something, then you use a clockwise movement, and that is the principle behind the whole science of pendulum and dowsing. So if you know dowsing, if you know pendulum, pendulum healing, pendulum predictions, etc. So you know this as well. And this is the secret behind the swastik symbol. Almost entire my life, today I'm not wearing, but almost entire my whole life, I have been wearing a cross. And I have many crosses. And the cross is nothing but a traditional Hindu symbol. Okay, either you say it is east, west, north or south, or if you want this as north, then okay, north, south, east, west. So now, how does the sun move?
East to west.
I actually am comfortable with putting east here. I will rotate the board and then you can have the north here, north, south. Now, how does the sun move?
East to west.
Circular movement, yeah.
No.
It moves in
Clockwise.
East.
He
East
moves in a
to-
circular way, doesn't it? In the
Clockwise way it moves.
yeah.
East to west.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, listen to me for a sec. The sun rises in the east, you have heard. The sun sets in the west, you have heard. Is that right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that? But which direction does the sun take to reach the west? Does it take this direction or this direction?
Yeah, clockwise.
Clockwise.
So from east, it moves towards the west. From west towards the north. From south towards the west. From west towards the north. And from the north towards the east. So in physics, there is a thing called scalar and vector. Scalar is that you don't mention the direction. But here, what we are doing is we are mentioning the direction that from the east we will move towards the energy will move towards the south. From the south, the energy will move towards the west. From the west, the energy is moved towards the north. And from the north, the energy will move towards the east. And that is the direction of the sun. You understand that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is the secret behind swastik. Otherwise, why don't you make old swastik like this? This is reverse. You don't make a swastik like this.
That's how the Germans made it.
German, exactly.
They
I was
made it
going to say same thing.
Anti-clockwise.
So because they did not have the knowledge, they did not ask me. If they would have asked me, I would have told them.
No, but Hitler was you said earlier on, Hitler was a negative energy person and
That's right.
Gautam Buddha was a positive energy. Maybe that's why he was doing everything wrong way.
Coming to Reiki, how is this used? Choku Re.
It's going anti-clockwise.
Why am I going anti-clockwise? Because I have to remove the negative energy.
Yeah.
To remove something, if something is in excess, even a positive energy, when the positive energy is in excess, there's a lot of courage in me, daring. Anything in excess is bad. You need to reduce this even. And if you have to reduce something, minus the anti-clockwise movement is needed. If you have to add something, then if you study advanced Reiki after level 3, then what happens? It is, I'm teaching you something which I did not promise. Now I am going clockwise, now I am adding, now I am not subtracting, but then the whole use will change. The whole usage will change. Unless you understand the movement, and this, none of the books will explain you.
Very good.
Show me a book which will explain you this. See, I am a mad person. When I start to think about a concept, I will keep thinking about 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years until I get to the bottom of it. So you have to be equally mad.
Yes.
Brilliant.
We are with you, that's why.
Somebody has to be equally mad. Then only you get to the bottom of things. Anybody can get to it, but you have to persistently ask the question to yourself, and suddenly someday the answer comes. So now the point is, if I give you this information that you can draw the chokure either like that or like this, then it will create a problem within your mind. But if I have given you the base, the understanding, now it is a child's play for you. You don't even have to remember it, because you know which kind of movement you want. You understand? In none of the books, first of all, this will be given in a few books which talk about other levels or other schools of Reiki, not the traditional Reiki school. Then they will not give why it is so. Now to learn something and then do it, and to understand something and then do it, are quite different things. So healing coming from a level of understanding is, I think, far more useful, because then you can always modify according to your own requirements. So if I go by your recipe of making coffee, which I'm feeling to have right now, but I now have no person who's awake to give me coffee. So if I go by your recipe, just by the book, then if a particular flavor is not available, vanilla flavor is not available, I'll not be able to have it. But if I know that flavor doesn't matter, I can have hazelnut flavor as well. So I can cook my own recipe. So when we come from a level of understanding in the world of Reiki, it makes more sense, because we understand every aspect of the activity which we do while Reiki healing. During whole my course, my total effort was not only to tell you what is to be done, but more importantly, what was the objective behind was to make you understand why this is being done. Because if I explain you why, even if you are not doing Reiki with me right now, tomorrow you can do Reiki, either with the help of these videos or with the help of some books. My effort has been to make you aware of this sacred healing art, especially in the COVID times, because many times we find that we had time, if we had the skill, we would have used it to either our advantage or to the advantage of others. In my personal experience, Reiki is very useful in times like these to pacify anxiety, to pacify physical problems which have a cause in the mind because of constant negative bombardment of news. People are suffering from a lot of issues. A lot of those issues you are potent enough now to solve, even by doing level 1 Reiki and making them rest for 45 minutes with soft music. You can cause great change in their life pattern. I hope that you will learn and master the art of Reiki in the times to come, and this will benefit you, your family, your near and dear ones, and the society at large. With these words, I bid bye to you for today, with the promise that we will meet one more last time in a question-answer session, and I will take whatever questions you will have for me. Thank you very much for being with me today.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for all your help, Guruji.
Namaste, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thanks, Guruji.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we are meeting tomorrow, yeah?
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Yeah, for attunement, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
very
much. Thank you very much.
Wow, that last bit was very enlightening.
Enjoy thoroughly.
Very informative and useful skills. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
you. Enjoyed all your companies. It was very nice to meet you.
All of us enjoyed.
Thank you, everyone.
All of us enjoyed.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions.
So nice to see the faces.